Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Transformation Center. I'm going to give an opportunity, make sure that we share and get some folks in here. Give me a second. Hope everybody is trying to make sure the lighting is good. It looks a little dark. So give me a moment. Let's see. Make sure we're coming up. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can get some folks up in here to join us this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to get started, and I know people will come on. I'm going to continue to invite, but I don't want to delay our guests. So this morning we have Mr. Edwin. I call him EJ. And his name is Edwin Collins, but I just want you to know I call him EJ. So if I slip out and I say EJ before I introduce him, that's who he is to me. So Edwin is originally from Delaware. He is here in the Virginia area, in Prince George exactly, by retirement from the military for 24 years of service in the Army. Let me tell you, that is some discipline right there, just to be able to serve for your country for 24 years. He has started his personal training business in 2017. His mission is to help change one life at a time through healthy concepts. Listen, I can tell you, I'm not always obedient to what he tell me, but I can tell you that he does a great job. And if you stick to the plan that he's given us and he's going to give us and teaching us over this next 2 months, because he's our guest, our facilitator for the next 2 months in the Transformation Center on how we're going to transform our bodies. And so I started yesterday. I demonstrated that I'm committed. I did my walk. I actually walked 7,000 steps. Let me tell you, my body ached because I am so out of shape. I didn't do nothing like he told me before, stretching. I did stretch afterwards, but it hurt before. I'm saying this to you guys because I want you to understand these are critical points. I'm going to bring Edwin up, EJ up, and before we get started, so he can just kind of piggyback on some of this stuff I'm saying, so y'all don't think I'm crazy. Good morning, EJ.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm awesome. I know that you got a presentation, but I really want to, before we get started in that, just some tidbits that I want you, just like I said yesterday, I was aching after I got up off of walking because I didn't stretch beforehand. I did stretch after, and I haven't been stretching every day, and so it makes a difference. Before I'm not. I know that your thing is on goals, but I want to talk a little bit about that because I don't want us to get injured in the process of getting right.
Right. So yes, if you haven't worked out in a while, or if you just started back and you stopped and you start again, what happens is if you take a rubber band, I don't have one. If you take a rubber band and you stretch it, in that rubber band, you can't see it with the naked eye, just like you can't see your muscles. There's micro tears in the stretching of your muscles. So what happens is the pain comes is when you start repairing, your muscles start repairing and to come back together. When the muscles start to come back together, that's when we have the pain because you have torn them. So every time you take your workout to another level, more reps, more sets, heavier weight, more intense, you're going to feel that same pain every time you take it to another level. So stretching is key. But one thing you don't want to do is start stretching cold muscles. So you need to do a warm up as well. If you go out there and stretch cold muscles, that's when you're going to get the injury. So you want to do some type of warm up, then stretch, then go into your session, then cool down and stretch again. Now, if you notice, sometimes when you're with a trainer, your warm up or sometimes your stretching may be the very exercise you're going to be doing. Okay. The stretching and the warm up is to prepare your muscles for what's to come. All right. Like I say, most people, even though it don't require it, but most people do what in the mornings? You start your car up before you get in it, and then you come back in the house, or now we got the push button start. You start your car up because you want to warm your car up before you get in it, right?
Yes.
So that's the same concept. You want to warm your car up. You want to warm your body up before you start to go out there. You don't want to go out there on a 5-mile run or a 5-mile walk without doing some type of stretching. That's going to lead to injury. And once you get injury, now you're out the training for however long to recover. Now it's like starting back all over again.
All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you have the floor and do your. I just wanted to say that because I know that I almost injured my own self on last night because of that. I mean, when I tell you, from the back pain to the leg pain, and I still have some other things that I needed to make sure I stretch. So I want to say that because as I'm talking about us getting healthy, I want us to be mindful, to be safe, and do it the right way, not just jump in. Because guess what, guys? I just jump in it, and so I'm trying to make sure I do better. All right.
And she will jump right in if I don't make her warm up. So yes.
So now I get it. Warm up is key. That's why I posted it. Warm up, stretching, and cool down. Those are critical things to make sure that we do. But EJ, the floor is yours. I'm going to get out of the way and let you have the floor.
All right. Go ahead and put the slides up. Okay. Well, you know what, Pastor? Can I start off with a word? Can I start
off? Yes, sir.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, day that we'll never see again. Thank you for all those that's listening. I hope that they get something educational as well as informational and practical out of this. So, Lord, right now, I'm going to step down and let you step up and use me to bring the word to the people. Amen. All right. So goal planning 101. What do we know about goal planning? Goal planning is essential. Without it, we already know if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Same thing as everyday life. Same thing with your fitness. So if we don't have a plan, let's keep it fitness. Okay. So if you don't plan your daily meals, you don't have a course of action of what you're going to eat during the day, you're probably going to do what? Eat whatever you see. As soon as you get hungry, you're going to grab that honey bun. You're going to grab that chocolate bar. You're going to grab whatever you see because now you're hungry and you didn't have a plan. You didn't bring your food with you. So you're going to eat whatever you see. I can tell you that. It's going to be whatever's in sight, you're going to get it. So if you don't have a plan, then this is where our calories add up. Our calories add up and we don't do enough movement. This is where the weight comes at. Now all of a sudden we're in a predicament where health-wise we want to lose the weight. All right. Next slide. All right. So Pastor, I always got to put a word on it. This is coming straight from the Bible. This ain't EJ. So Proverbs 21:5 tells us the plans of the diligent leads to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. Now we can sit there and break that down all day, but simply means if you don't have a plan, you're not going to be successful. Let's think about this season that's coming up, harvest, planting season for the farmers. All right. If they don't get out there in a certain time frame, a certain window, they miss that season to plant the seeds. Guess what? We ain't going to eat. So we ain't growing our own food. So we ain't going to eat if the farmers miss their window. All right. Because they failed to plan. Hey, we got to get out here in spite of all this rain. We got to get these seeds in the ground. We got to get this fertilizer down so the seeds can prosper into food so the people can eat. So if they fail to plan, you might not eat. All right. So I take that verse right there to say simply, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. You set yourself up for failure. I don't know who's out there in listening land, but if you want to, if you agree with that, you can chime in. Okay. So we're talking about goal setting, right? All right. So goal setting. What is goal setting? What is goal setting? Simply put, it involves the development of an action plan designed in order to motivate and guide a person or group towards a goal. Goals are more deliberate and desires and momentary intentions. Therefore, setting goals means that a person is committed through emotion, behavior towards attaining the goal. Now, just like I said, if you don't have a goal, you don't have nothing in mind, you're going to go out there and just go do whatever off in Wawa land somewhere. So you want to have a goal, give you something to aim for, give you something to focus on, give you something to pinpoint. And once you accomplish that goal, I don't know about you, but if anytime I accomplish one of my milestones, I feel great. Anybody else out there can attest? Do we have anybody out there? Okay. Everybody agree? If you have a goal, you're more focused on what you're committed to do. It's going to keep you focused on that light at the end of the tunnel. But without that goal, you're going to be boom, 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 pinging everywhere, wasted energy, wasted time. All right. Next slide. Why is goal setting important? Why is goal setting important? Goal setting is important because it provides direction and purpose in life. When you set goals, you identify what you want to achieve and what you need to achieve it. It motivates you to take action, whether it's in your personal or professional life, and gives you a sense of control over your future. Again, a man or woman without goals, yes, we're headed into the future. We can't stop that. We're headed into the future. But if you don't have no plans of where you want to go or how you're going to get there in that part of your future, again, you're just going to be here, there, everywhere, lost energy, lost time, wasted time. I don't like to waste my time. I like to have goals. And I'm not saying everything in your life should be goal oriented, because sometimes you just need to be able to do whatever you want to do. But I'm saying for an important event that you're trying to accomplish or a milestone that you're trying to accomplish, I think you need to be goal oriented or goal minded. Next slide. The goal setting theory. The goal setting theory. This theory states that goal setting gives individuals a clear understanding of what is expected of them and helps them to focus on the most important tasks. Those are the tasks that we set for ourselves. And further on in the slides, we're going to see where we have to make these things realistic. Don't set something so far-fetched that I'm just doing this to check a block. No, let's be realistic when we set our goals, okay? Furthermore, it indicates that individuals who set specific and challenging goals are more likely to achieve better results than those who set vague or easy goals. A vague goal. Let's go over a vague goal right quick. Let's say I want to lose. Let's say I want to lose 5 pounds. That's very vague, right? So how can we reinforce that statement? Over the next 2 weeks, I want to commit to exercise every day of the week. And yes, Pastor P. Now that right there, losing 50 pounds, that's a long-term goal. We're going to get to that. So if you say you want to exercise in the next 2 weeks for 30 minutes a day, X amount of days a week for the next month, now that's a stronger goal than what I said at first. I just want to lose 10 pounds. I have an example later on in the slides, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, the theory also suggests that feedback and commitment are also essentials in goal setting and achievement. So ensuring you are not getting or going after your goals in a vacuum um, will help you be successful in achieving them. The goal is to walk 30 minutes a day. Okay, let's strengthen that. Let's strengthen that statement that you just had up there. How can we strengthen that statement? Goal to walk 30 minutes a day. You know what? Hold that thought. We're gonna get to that slide in a few minutes. Next slide. All right, there are 3 types of goals. There's progress, performance, and outcome. I'm not gonna sit here and kill y'all by PowerPoint, so I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and read the 3 different types of goals, and give me a thumbs up when you're done. If you want to elaborate on them more, we can. I'm not gonna sit here and keep reading. I don't want to insult nobody's intellects. But there are 3 types of goals: process, performance, and outcome. Process. The process goals are specific actions. For example, aiming to study 2 hours after dinner each day. You want to study 2 hours. You want to study the Bible 2 hours after dinner each day to better yourself in the Word. And the performance goals are based on personal standard. I want to be able to jump higher. I want to be able to dunk the basketball. What does dunking the basketball look like? Now let's back plan. What's it going to take for me to dunk this basketball? I'm going to show you that, how it apply it to your workout plan as we get through the slides. Outcome goals are based on winning. All right. Next, okay, right there. All right, the 5 steps to goal planning. The 5 steps to goal planning. This is where we get down to the nitty-gritty. This is where we put our stuff down on paper. All right. If you don't write it down, it's probably not going to happen. Okay. So we have to put our thoughts and our goals down on paper. That's what anything we do. We can't have a dream and keep sleeping. We got to wake up at some point and chase that dream. Yes. Nothing comes to dreamers but a dream. So nothing comes to sleepers but what? Sleep. Your dream's gonna pass you by because you didn't get up and take action on them. All right, for the 5 steps. Step 1, let's put our goals down on paper. Okay, we got to put our goals down on paper. We have to put them down on paper, and they have to be, like I said, let's make them specific and clear. All right. Step 2, we got the SMART process. The SMART process is coming up on the next slide, but we got to apply the SMART process while we're planning our goals. And the SMART process will help you stay in line with setting your goals up so that they are attainable and reachable, not so far-fetched that you can't reach them. Step 3, we got to identify any obstacles. Somebody give me some obstacles that we may have when we're, like I said, let's keep it on fitness. What kind of obstacles may we occur while we're setting up our fitness goals? We may have family. If you got a family, you may have to cook. Not used to exercising. Somebody give me some more. Chime in. Let's make this a group effort here. No motivation. I could say work, your hours. Work all the time. Children, got to get the children from daycare, or you got to do homework with the children or something like that. That's your, I guess we could just say home life could be an obstacle. Stress and fear. Yeah. Yep. Not sure what we are doing and how to start. Okay. That's when you contact your local trainer. That's what we are there for, to help you overcome your fears and put you on the right track. So having said all that, those are some of the things when we're jotting our stuff down on paper, we need to keep those things in mind when we get to step 3. Step 4, we got to create an action plan. This action plan has to be so much, I guess not so much in the beginning, because we got to always come back and evaluate, but we got to have at least some type of action plan. So I always say, write your action plan in Jello. That way, Jello is always wiggling. We can always change. But if you put it in concrete, this is what you say you're going to stick to. Then when something comes up, you got to deviate from what you said you was going to do. So I say our step 4, I think, should be a Jello written plan. Always looking to improve on our plans as we go forward. Yes, an action plan. And then step 5, we got to continue to monitor our progress. We got to be able to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I always tell my clients there's 3 types of people. And you guys can chime in if you agree or disagree. The first person that's working out is going to see results, and they're going to get excited. They're going to want to go further. They're going to want to go deeper. They're going to want to continue the process. You got one person that's not making progress, and they just going to want to stop right there. All right. You got one person that lost a couple of pounds, and they're satisfied with their minimal progress, and that's it for them. They're going to stop right there. So you got those 3 types of people. One that's going to be motivated and want to keep going. One that's going to get frustrated because they don't see the results they want right away. And remember, you didn't put it on overnight, so don't expect it to come off overnight. Okay? Then you got that one person that they just going to give up. This, man, it ain't working for me. Which category do you fit in? I know me, when I see if I'm dropping some weight, I like to keep going just to see how far I can go. If that's my goal. I also couple seminars I went to, and I realized everybody is obsessed with losing weight. No, I think after my last seminar I went to, I seen things a little bit differently, especially for our people. And I love to talk about our people. I love our Black people. Okay, let's quit focusing on losing weight so much. Okay, let's be healthy. Let's be healthy. And that's what I want to focus on from here on out with me. I'm not so much worried about my weight. I want to be, when I go to the doctor, I want my numbers to be right according to this American standard, which we know wasn't built on our people. But I want to be healthy. I want to look good too. So if being healthy causes me to monitor my weight, then so be it. But I don't want to focus on losing weight. Let's be healthy. Anybody got any comments on that? Anybody got any comments on the 5 steps of planning? Anybody want to add anything or chime in and say anything?
All right, EJ, I decided I'm going to come up on this one because I think for me, these steps, I am definitely the person that constantly says, I just want to lose weight. I think that's my answer to all of my problems. It's the answer to my knee problem. It's the answer. So I just want, and so I get stuck in the process of the weight not coming off.
Right.
Even when I change the lifestyle and start eating correctly, I get lost in not seeing the pounds drop.
Fast enough.
Yeah. And so
So
that is one of the reasons like this transformation is so important to me, because I know that that's not the big picture.
right.
That's the end result of changing a lifestyle
Yeah,
to
it's an
be.
adaptation period. It's gonna take some time. I mean, let's be real. What I'm sure you was told the same thing I was told when I was growing up. Eat everything on your plate. I think we all can attest to that, right?
Yes.
Just like we all have a drug problem. We was all drugged to church, right?
Yes.
Okay. So eating everything on your plate now, that just out the years that just kept on going. And then, I always tell people, Pastor, we are much smarter than our ancestors, our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents. We make more money than they ever made. So we should do better. We know better, we should do better. The stuff that they had to eat and endure, that was because that's all they had. That's all they could afford. Now that we know better, we need to do better. And that's why I say I'm not so much, and going forward, I'll stress that throughout. Let's quit focusing on the weight
Okay.
and let's be healthy.
I have a sister that's really on me about the healthy and changing. So she's really pushing this plant-based lifestyle,
Mhm.
eating. And so, knowing that she believes that when we change what we eat,
Yep.
we won't have as many ailments
Right.
as we do. And so
You
for
know,
me,
I was watching something the other day. I couldn't sleep one night, so when I can't sleep, I get up and start researching and stuff. And I was watching something as simple as an apple. When we buy apple from Food Line,
hmm
if you buy apple from the market, or organic apple, okay, both of those apples, put them on your counter and see which one spoils the fastest.
wow.
Because the one from Food Line, the guy said he took a regular house knife and just scraped it, and this white stuff coming off of it. That's wax. That's to preserve that apple.
Mm,
But he couldn't scrape it off the organic apple. So
it's not there.
right. So chime in. Hey, so how do you clean your apples? You take your apples when you get them home from the grocery store. You put them in your sink. Put some vinegar, a little bit
Okay.
of baking soda, and just wash them around. Just wash your apples and then pat them dry with the paper towel. Let them set out on the counter. But you got to eat them after that, because now you done took the protective coating off of them.
Got it.
So we've been eating wax, except for when we've been eating the ones from grandmama's backyard. Now we
Right.
know those are ones that they real, because you're gonna run to the bathroom.
So
Now,
in actuality, the best food to eat is to grow your own if you can.
right, right. Because the stuff from the grocery store, it's got that coating on it. So I was like, wow. So I know now I wash my apples and I can feel the difference too. Now that I'm more conscious, I can feel the difference. So that's
And
just
so
another.
is it the same with all fruit, not just apples? We're saying talking about apples, but
Just
we
about I guess anything with a shiny cover on it. If it's too
okay.
shiny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a display.
yeah. So I'm like, wow, this okay. So I said now I just go wash my fruit real good and let it sit on the counter and I eat them. Eat them every chance I get. I love my go-to snack now is I take me an apple thing and I cheat it. I got the little apple slicer from
Okay.
Amazon. So
Right.
it cuts them up in 12 perfect slices and I put me a tablespoon of peanut butter on my plate and just dip my apples in the peanut butter. Great healthy snack.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
cures my sugar craving so I don't go get me a honey bun or something crazy. So that's another tidbit right there.
Mm,
Fruit, fresh fruit.
okay. So
So anybody got anything else on these five planning steps, 5 steps to goal planning?
you can put your comments and I'll display them if they're, I don't see any. Um, I did have a, let me ask another question. I know you say there's a slide that's going to talk about the SMART
Mhm.
system.
Yes.
How important is number 4, the action plan?
That's very important because that's what you're going to actually be doing, carrying out to try to reach your goal. Um, you want to make it, like I say keep it in the jello form in case you have to deviate left or right.
Okay.
Because if, like I said, if you just put it in concrete, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of times when we like, I don't like to use the word diet, but a lot of times when we diet, call ourselves doing one of these fad diets, and you get
Right.
off track, then you want to try to figure out how you can make up for that day. Well, you can't. You just have to pick up from where you're at and keep going and get back on track. Okay. So if you missed a meal, don't try to go and cram all your calories in one meal. You're gonna hurt yourself. So that action plan has to be your guide. This is how I'm going to attack my healthy living. This is how I'm going to attack my build up for my 5K walk. This is how I'm gonna build up for my bodybuilding contest. Your action plan is going to be your word. This is what I'm going to do moving forward.
Okay. And so I guess you would say don't beat yourself up, because a lot of times we beat ourselves up
Yes.
because we did not follow the plan. And if
Right.
you're kind of like me, that's a control person and
Mhm.
want order, when things jump out of order, your life get out of order, you kind of, beat yourself up. So the goal is
Right.
not to
Don't
beat
don't
yourself up.
don't beat yourself up because you can't. One thing we can't get back, as we all know, in this life is time. No one can give you that time back. So you can't worry about what you didn't do. You got to get back. Daggone, I messed up yesterday. And most people mess up when? On the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, most people mess up on the weekend. Some people go hard, meal plan, eat right all week long, and then Friday, Saturday, they maybe start to tail it back on Sunday, but then you messed up your calories throughout the weekend. Now you got to try to you really resetting yourself back to day one when you do that. So it has to be a lifestyle. That's what people don't understand. Like I was going to talk about it later, but that new drug Wagyu and Ozempic, now they're starting to prove that for weight loss. But at
Right.
first it wasn't for weight loss, but listen to Big Pharma. Big Pharma realized they can make money off this thing in two ways. So what they do, and
Yeah.
Wagyu and the other one is Ozempic split down the middle and call it another name
Wow.
because
But
Ozempic
is
was
it
out first before Wagyu and that other one. So what they did was split it down the middle, made it just as potent, and called it another name.
wow.
That's Big Pharma. That's how they do us. Now everybody's into. I mean, look what Oprah did. That's a shame. She left
And I
weight.
don't watch TV enough, so I don't know what you're talking about there.
Oprah left Weight Watchers because now she's committed to Ozempic, and now
Oh, okay, okay.
you got all these people jumping on Ozempic now because they looking at Oprah. But I guarantee you, listeners, once you stop taking that Ozempic or that Wagyu, it's gonna come back on you so hard.
Wow.
It's gonna come back on you so hard. So if you want to give yourself that needle once a week or once a day, however you take it, I mean, you don't have insulin problems, you don't have diabetes problem. That's what it was originally
Right.
created for. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't take it.
Got
I
it.
wouldn't take
Got
it.
it.
So
And this is off topic, and I'm just going to say this so we can move on. But when we take a drug like that and use it for another purpose, the people who need it, there becomes a shortage.
that's what's on the TV right now. There's people on TV complaining that they can't get it because
They
now
can't get it because it's now.
now now they're trying to prove it so your provider can prescribe this for you. So I'm like, wow, with America, but we jump on anything. But once you stop taking it, it's gonna come back, and you're gonna see with Oprah, she left Weight Watchers.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Weight Watchers is, I guess, is a more. It's been years since I've looked at it. It's a plan where you're eating is changing
Mhm.
your portion sizes and
Yep.
eating from the 4 food groups like you should. I think
Yep.
that's
Yep.
main part.
They have a great comprehensive plan that works if you, like I said, if you can adapt to that lifestyle. Oprah, she didn't have the discipline. Let's just be honest about it. She's been fighting this thing for years.
Right. Like most of
So
us who have. You're right.
yeah.
You gotta
But
have the
I would love to be her trainer though.
So maybe she'll hear this. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd love to be LeBron James trainer too. He what spends 10 million on his body a year.
Oh,
Good
okay.
God Almighty! I just
Yeah.
need one client like that. Okay, the smart process. The smart
Just
process
before
that I
you
mentioned.
start, EJ, let me just, for
Yeah.
those people who are just joining us, I want to make sure that somebody said you're their favorite trainer. Let me add there who is, I don't know who that is. But listen,
Aisha,
I want to make sure that you guys know we're talking about transforming your body this morning with EJ. We want to make sure, and we may have a little sidebar conversations, but it still comes back to the fact of how we can live healthy, how we can make sure that we live smarter. As we're getting ready to talk about this smart method, I mean, that's our goal, and that's the process of the Transformation Center, is to make sure that we make changes that are smart for our body. You can go ahead, Mr. EJ.
okay. So the smart process I was talking about. The S stands for specific. All right. And it says right there, plain as day. There's no point in setting vague goals that don't achieve anything specific. Like I said, don't just say I want to lose
50
I want to
pounds.
lose 50 pounds. First of all, and that's going to come up later in the screen. I'm going to show you how to set your goal planning sheet up. 50 pounds, that's a lot. 50 pounds is going to require a lot of anybody. I don't care who it is. All right. I don't care if you take an Ozempic. It's still going to require a lot of you. So 50 pounds is a long-term goal that I would put underneath my long-term paragraph. And you really have to think about what it's going to take for you to get there.
Can I ask a question real quick? So
Yes.
when we say, can you explain between the long-term and the short-term goals? And because we understand that in life with business and finances, but how do we do that with a weight program or a lifestyle program? How do we make those?
It's coming up in the.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I love the dialogue.
Okay.
Measurable. Make sure your goal is measurable. Like we said, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, it's not impossible, but you have to give your time to do that. And like I said, we're going to see that on the goal setting form that I have. If that's your goal, that's fine. But I can tell you right now, it's going to require a lot of you. Okay, so I'm not going to smash nobody. I'm not a dream smasher. I'm not going to take anybody's goals away from them or their dreams. But just remember, keep it measurable. Keep it measurable. Just like the third one there. The A stands for attainable. A smart goal must be within reach. All right. Lean on the data, analysis, and research to help set your attainable goals. So you got to go out and, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. What's it going to take? Am I going to use supplements? Am I going to use a trainer? Am I going to join the gym? What's it going to take for me to get to this milestone? And what's my date? What's my time frame that I'm giving myself? All right. You got to make sure it's attainable. I want to lose 50 pounds in the next 2 weeks. I'm probably not going to agree with that as a trainer. And I'll sit down and talk you down out that tree. But hey, right now, I'm not going to tell you that if that's your dream and you're willing to put the work in, I'm here for you.
Oh, did you hear what he just said? Because I think a lot of us want that, but are you willing to put the work in? I can say I always want that. That 50 pounds I've been trying to lose for years. I'm going to tell you guys that. But not always do I put the work in, or I put the work in and I'm not consistent. And I think that that's our other thing, is that in this guide of being smart about everything we do, being specific about our goals, making sure that they're measurable, making sure and what was the A? Is it attainable? I was going to say
Attainable.
adaptable, attainable. Um, is it realistic? That I don't even know what R. Let me let you go. Let me be quiet.
The R, the R is for relevant. Okay, it's essential that any goal you set for your team or your individuals, make sure they're relevant to what you're trying to do. All right, you got to stay relevant. You got to stay on point. Um, a lot of times we just set goals. Sometimes I think uh, people say stuff to check the block. Let me see. Pastor, you probably don't you don't remember her, but when we was training real hard a couple years ago, um, there was a young lady that took. She came to me. She was overweight, and her what is it, A1C or AC1, whatever that number is, was way out of whack. And I told
Our
her,
A1C, yeah.
yeah, I said I can help you. I said, but this is what's going to be required of you. So she came to me. We sat down, wrote out a meal plan. She had after a couple of sessions, she said, "Well, I have to go to my doctor today, so I'm gonna carry everything that we're doing to the doctor." I said, "Okay, let him look at it." She gave it to the doctor. I think she was trying to see if the doctor was gonna sway one way or the way, tell her, don't do this, to give her an outie, because she was looking. That's what I think she was really looking for. Well, when she went in there and told the doctor what was going on, she took my whole plan folder with her, her portfolio that I had wrote up for her, to the doctor, and he looked at it. And she came back. She said, "I went to the doctor today." I said, "So what the doctor say?" "He looked at everything you wrote up for me." I said, "Okay, what'd he say?" He looked at it. He flipped through it. He looked through it again, and he said, "If I was you, I would follow this." And like I said, you know how we are with each other as a people. I don't know what she came back, and I think she was really looking for the doctor to say, "No, don't do this," or blah blah blah. She stopped working. She stopped coming to me,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, man, I hope she's all right, because her numbers was out of bounds. Yeah, like nine something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the plan was very relevant to what she was trying to do, but I think once the doctor approved of it, she was expecting him to say otherwise. That's what I'm thinking,
I
because if
think
the doctor told you,
if we
huh?
be honest, I think that she probably wanted a quick fix, like most of us.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the workout process that you lay out for us is literally that it's a process. It's not a quick fix. And so
Right.
you've got to do the due diligence and you've got to do the work. And so it's easy to say that's why people are using the drug
Yeah. Oh yeah,
because
I know.
we are a microwave community. We're a microwave
Yeah.
nation. And so nobody wants to do the work, but they want the results.
Right. And like I said, I will keep saying it. It's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle. And once you adapt that mindset, then the better off you'll be.
Whew, that needs to go back to the mind, transforming your mind session, because we
Yeah.
cannot transform our bodies without transforming our minds, transforming our verbiage, all of those things in the process. All right, EJ, I'm
Exactly.
gonna let you have your way.
And time bound. The goals must be time related. We got to set a time frame to when we want to accomplish our goals. And once we accomplish our goal, are we going to stop? Or are we going to keep going? Um, I think once people see, like I said, those that see results, sometimes they get real excited and want to keep going further and deeper. Sometimes some people see results and be like, man, you know what? I'm good right here. And then when you don't see results, you just like, man, this ain't working for me. I quit. All right. So you gotta figure out which category you're gonna be in, and how it's gonna help you get to your goals. So we want to make sure that we have a time set up when we want to, if we focus on weight loss, when we want to lose that weight. If we focus on bringing our numbers down at the doctor, which numbers are we working on? How's it going to look as far as bringing them down, blood pressure, whatever, triglycerides and all that stuff. And when you go to the doctor, get a full workup. I tell them, hey, run everything on me blood-wise you can. Okay? So I even had them to do my testosterone this year. So run every test on me you can. So I know what I got to do. So I think my vitamin D, I think for a lot of Black people, vitamin D is a problem because we avoid the sun. We don't get outside enough. So he gave me some vitamin D pills. So I've been taking those. So I'll see what my numbers look like when I go back. But that's how in depth I have my doctor. I say, run everything. I don't care. I need to know. All right. Especially as a black man, you say this is what we're more susceptible to these different types of cancers and diseases. Well, had an incident at the VA 2 years ago. The doctor didn't want to do the blood test that I requested. So I said, well, I tell you what, let's stop the examination right here. And I go to patient advocate, tell them what we discussed, and I get a new PA. Well, we can't run this stuff on you every year. I said, you're going to run it on me every year. I'm the patient. I requested it. So I went to patient advocate. I got a new doctor. Just as simple as that.
And so I want to say that we are responsible for our own care because we pay our own insurances. You know, you served in the military, so you have that benefit, but we pay for those services, and it's important that we make sure that they provide us the service that we're paying for. You wouldn't go to any other business and pay for a service and not get what you desire, what you want. So why do we go to the doctor and not hold them accountable for the services that they should be providing us and not just medication? That's not what they're just there for. They should be given. But I think I was listening to something that doctors are not taught about nutrition. And so that's not their, there's a very small amount of time. But that's somebody else's session. I'm going to leave that alone. That's not my area of expertise.
Well, it's true what you said. Think about it. How many of us who went to the doctor and the doctor said you need to lose weight? And you come back to him, he come back to you and he tell you again. But you notice he never gave you an action plan because he don't know. All right? And if he does give you an action plan, trust me, he's going to keep it in his circle. He's going to refer you to his boy or his girl. They're going to keep that money within. And I understand that. That's why I try to put my business card out there.
Most definitely. But I think a good thing that we all need to do, as you stated, when you go to the doctor, is to have a good plan. You go in there telling them exactly what it is you want, the services you want them to provide. They're going to give you the information, the blood work, and they're going to tell you based on statistical data what it is that you need to do. And then from there, I think that your physician and your personal trainer or your nutritionist, all of those should work together to come up with a plan. It's just like you in intensive care. When you're in intensive care, every person that they bring to you that's working your care, they all have to talk about the plan because one will affect the other. And so that's the breakdown, I believe, in our transformation of our bodies, is that we don't communicate, just as you suggested that young lady take the information to the doctor and hold them accountable to pull the right information and say, all right, doctor, is this a good plan? Or do we need to make some adjustments and do that? I think that's where we have to do better at.
Right. All right. Anybody got any questions on the SMART process?
Everybody's quiet today, EJ. So we go.
Maybe they taking in the information.
That's good. That's good because you know what? I learned that when I preach, I teach, and I'm not a preacher, so I don't hoop and all that. So when people don't holler, it's okay. I need you to be taking notes. That's all I need you to do.
Right. All right. Setting our physical activity goals. Like I said, pinpoint your ultimate goal, whether it's to be healthy, to lose weight, um, to get stronger, or build your endurance up. Make sure you have a plan or something in mind, especially when you come and talk to a trainer. So when they sit down, they can go over your form a plan for you. All right. And find out how to achieve your ultimate goal. Like I said, I want to be able to dunk a basketball. What's that going to look like? What's it going to take for me to get to dunk this basketball? How do I have to build my legs up to dunk this basketball? All right. Set small and specific mini goals. That's what we're going to do when we get to that goal planning sheet. In a couple slides, it's going to just have you sit down and do your short term, midterm, and long term. And if those that are participating, you get a piece of paper out, and I can send the slides to you. Just send me your email. I'll put my email up in a minute at the end. Monitor your progress regularly. Some people don't like to get on a scale every day. I don't really suggest it, but I say weekly. You need to know where you're at. If you're especially if you're trying to monitor your weight, you need to know where you're at. Some people, I tell people don't get on a scale every day, but guess what? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're guilty, Pastor.
Let me just say this. I want to say this, and I don't know. I'm one of those people that decided that I couldn't do this on my own, so I used somebody else's service. I had a gastric bypass, and I lost a lot of weight, but I didn't have a plan. That's why this is so important to me. I did not have a plan on what to do after the weight. And my doctor, guess what? He didn't give me a plan. He didn't tell me I should make sure I walk. He didn't tell me, you're not gonna be able to eat this, you're not gonna be able to eat that. But guess what? After a period of time, your body gets to eat everything. So I was really guilty of not doing this. I mean, I lost a lot of weight. That's
why you think he didn't tell you all that?
Because he wanted me to keep coming back for revisions, and
yes, copays are great.
yes.
Just like like I just said a while ago. Every time we go to the doctor, I'm sure the doctor has told each one of us we need to lose weight, and every time you come back and see him, he tells you the same thing, right? But he never gives you a plan. But every time he comes, he's got to at least touch you to get that hour's worth of work. And oh, by the way, pay your copay on the way out the door.
Miss Todd said she guilty as well, so I'm glad I'm not in this thing by myself. Sometimes that be the problem too. You feel like it's only you, and so you'll stop doing something because you think it's only applies to you. But we are here to tell you guys that you're not in this alone. There's a process that we all have to work to obtain this. And thank you, Miss Todd, for being honest.
That, by the way, that's my baby sister.
Oh, okay. No wonder you're her favorite personal trainer.
Yeah, we had a couple sessions when I was home for Christmas break.
Okay.
Yeah. I went and got my little book. These right here. If you don't want to buy something like this, just get you a little green book. For those that are out there that's in the military, you know what I'm talking about. Something you can write your stuff down in. This one here has, you guys might not be able to see it, but you can monitor everything in here. All right.
Okay. Now, what kind of book? Now, what's the name of the book so we'll know where to get it?
This one I got off of Amazon. I think in a pack of 6. It's called
Fitness and
Workout.
Oh.
Notebook.
Listen, that's a cuss word right there, ain't it?
And I think I ordered them in a pack of 6 because I give them to my clients just so they can have something to jot their stuff down, or if they want me to keep it here when they train, I can we can update it after the session so you can know what you're doing. Last month I was working at 5 pounds dumbbells. Now I'm getting stronger. Now I'm up to 10. Something as simple as that. Okay. Then we go down to adapt to changing circumstances. Like I said, different things happen in different times of our life, so we have to be always ready to change. So just be ready to navigate those hurdles or those circumstances that arise in your life. Like I said, if you jump off the bandwagon, get back on. All right. If you know you haven't exercised since high school, be ready for that initial pain, because it's gonna. I haven't found a way to stop it yet. If you haven't exercised in a while and you can start back exercising, we had a session this morning and one of the girls just came back and she said, "Coach, I already know how I'm gonna be feeling for the next 2 days." Yeah, because you've been out for about 6 months, so she already knows. So I told her, go home and drink plenty of water. And if it gets that bad, you might want to take some Tylenol or something. But as long as it's not a sharp poking pain, but we know we didn't injure nothing or tear or break something. So, and the last one you mentioned earlier, Pastor, don't be hard on yourself. All right. We are human. We are prone to mistakes. All right. If you fall off, get back on. All right. If you know you ate that donut somewhere else in the day, cut your calories somewhere else. All right. Don't eat another donut before you go to bed. Because now you got these calories sitting on you. And women, you know, it come on your hips and that butt. Men, it comes around our love handles and our stomach. All right. So make sure you just be cognizant of what you eat.
Okay.
All right. Next slide. What is an example of a SMART goal in fitness? Okay. This is the first goal. It says, I want to exercise 30 to 60 minutes for 3 to 5 days a week. That's kind of vague when you listen to that. All right. Or we can strengthen it by saying, I want to complete 30 to 60 minutes of exercise for 3 to 5 days each week for the next 3 months. Now we got us a plan. Now we got something to shoot for. So that first statement is kind of vague and weak, but the second statement is more fortified with more action words. Y'all agree? Crickets. All right. If you at home and you got a piece of paper, get a piece of paper out. Get a piece of paper out. Get a piece of paper out and write down on a piece of paper. Set your paper up just like this. Your name, your date, short term, midterm, and long term.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. We can do this several ways. I like to set my long term first and then work back towards my midterm and my short term. Or you can start with your short term, do your midterm, and get to your long term. So if your long term is to lose, I ain't gonna use 50, Pastor. That's gonna require a lot of work.
All right, 20. Let's say 20.
Okay, 20. If your long term is to lose 20 pounds, what's your target date?
Yesterday.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that to me. If your long term is 20 pounds, put long term in the date that you want to shoot for.
Okay. So when we can we talk about that? So because realistically, 20 pounds help us to make that because I am one of those people to say, oh, well, I want to do it in what we in
Right.
March. I want to do it when it get warm. I want to make sure I'm gonna drop that 20 by the time the summer here. I'm not trying to wear a bikini or nothing like that, but I'm just saying.
Right.
So we all want to, but for the summer, is that
Right.
realistic?
Yes. So that's why on long term, put your end date that you want to do this by, and then we'll back plan. We'll go to midterm, and in between midterm and long term, we got to figure out what's it going to take us to get to um, the long term. Then we'll go from midterm to short term. How are we going to plan to get, or we can start from short. If you want to start from short term, let's start with um, find a trainer and come up with a comprehensive plan.
So if I say July 4th,
Okay, that's definitely from now to, yeah, that's long term. So July the 4th. So what's the middle? What's the midway point to that?
um, let's
We're
see,
in March now.
March.
May,
It's 2 months, 4 months. So
End of May,
May,
beginning of June.
yeah,
Okay,
I said we'll say
so
about May.
okay, mid May.
Yeah,
All right, so that's your midterm date, and your short term date will be now.
right.
Okay, so you want to start. You want to start filling the space between your short term and midterm. You want to find a trainer, get on a program, um, start working out. Then your midterm will be um, definitely check in, continue the journey. Um, Intensity levels should be higher at this time. And then by long term, um, track your progress, give yourself feedback, how you did, what could you have done better, and voila, you got your results.
So where do I put? Okay, because I've got find my trainer, start
Mhm.
working out. Where is adjust my lifestyle, like my eating
You can
and
put that in short term because you need to do that. Start doing that like ASAP.
okay. Okay. And so after I got my trainer and they develop me a plan, I need to have a schedule. So where is that
Yes.
schedule
The
going in the
schedule's
short
gonna be
term?
on this, or it's gonna be on the short term too, because you're gonna
Okay.
get all that. Like if you came to me today, you're gonna leave out here with all that, and then um, we're gonna work out until your midterm date, and we definitely gonna. Well, I mean, we're gonna check in before what we say mid May, the
Mm-hmm.
midterm. Definitely
Right.
gonna be checking in before that, but midterm is gonna be like your midterm exam to see how you did. Okay, we need to pick it up here. We're gonna do a total evaluation at that point.
Okay. And so
Okay, we
what
need
kind of things would at mid-May if I was because I'm the numbers person, so I'm going to concentrate on the pounds, even though you
mhm.
told me they're not important. That's so what would you suggest based on your experience? What would be that number would look like if that was my focus? Because you can't
10,
change a numbers person from who they are.
right. I would have you down by 10, at least 10 pounds by then.
Okay.
That would be the midway point.
Okay.
And as long as you're around that number, we're good. So at that point, I would look, okay, she's at 9, I'll accept that. That's a firm 9. If you're at 10, then okay, 9 and 10, we still gonna crank it up. Now, if you was way below that, we definitely gonna crank it up. But either way, we're gonna. And reason why I say crank up your intensity because you should have gotten stronger from your short term to your midterm.
Got it.
Okay, so we're gonna crank up your reps and sets, and definitely increase your weights and weight training, and your distance in your cardio training and stuff like that.
So is it safe to say that there has to be a balance of weight and strength training through this process, or
Yes.
you lean more on one or the other?
I say do both because as we get older, we lose our muscle strength. So, I mean, our muscle mass, which causes you to lose strength. So you
Okay.
need to constantly build and burn at the same time.
Build and burn at the same time. So you
Mhm.
meaning that if I don't feel the burn, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do right?
No, that's not always a good analogy. I will never tell nobody that.
Okay.
So just because you don't feel it when you're working out doesn't mean you're not working hard enough.
Okay.
All right.
I think that sometimes is our concept and our
Right.
thought pattern is that we must feel it. Like if there's no pain, no gain. So
Yeah,
is that
that's not a good analogy
okay?
because sometimes you don't understand your pain. So you might feel some pain, but you don't know what's going on until after you stop working out. And now that pain is persistent for 2 weeks. Now we got a problem. And especially
Got it.
if it's a sharp poking pain, that means you may have torn something.
Okay.
If it's just a dull pain, like I said, once you start back working out, you haven't worked out in a while. Sis, you can attest to that. Yes. Let's see if she's gonna be honest with Big Bro.
We waiting on her to comment. We waiting on her to comment. So let me ask this question while we're waiting on her comment about because you said, "Oh Lord, this is love."
She said, "Laugh out loud." Yes.
So, prime example. Okay, so for me, let's just talk about me. I'm going to share my ailments with the process. We know I've had knee problems since the day I met you,
Mhm.
and they haven't changed. And I've had a knee replacement, and it's still not really where it's supposed to be. And then I have what is that thing with your feet called plantar fasciitis? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, plantar
Okay, so
fasciitis.
I got that as well on the same knee that I had the knee replacement. So because if your people don't tell you about their ailments or their
Right.
injuries or anything like that, how do you come up with the effective plan? Or and if they're not aware, they just don't want to share because they
Mhm.
won't go to the doctor. How do you assess for some of those things?
Good question. I have a assessment sheet. First, I'm going to ask because um, I need to know. Um, give you an example. If someone's had hip surgery, like they're when they're exercising their legs, like if you're doing like certain exercises, their legs are not supposed to cross center line after that hip surgery because it's going to cause them a lot of pain. So little stuff like that people don't know. Um, People with thyroid problems, if I'm doing a meal plan for you, you need to expose that because there's certain foods you can't eat.
Got it.
So I always ask, and when I do someone's meal plan, I want to sit down with that person because what I like, you might not like. So I can't put your meal plan down according to EJ. Let's sit down and go through this together. Because my thing is, if I'm helping you plan it, writing it for you, and you tell me what you like, all I'm doing is putting it in proportions, and you're gonna eat whatever you want to eat. I'm not gonna tell you what you can't eat. I'm just gonna put it in portions for you. Um,
Got it.
so if you don't disclose to me your allergies,
Mm,
a lot of us are allergic to oatmeal and wheat, and we don't know it. But because societies has said eat wheat bread, we don't know. There's a lot of people allergic to wheat that don't know it. There's a lot of people allergic to oatmeal who don't know it. We know there's a lot of people allergic to shellfish and eggs and stuff like that. But
right.
if you don't tell me those things, and I'm going to ask you those things when we're doing your meal plan, because I don't want to be the one to set you off into something crazy while you eat your lunch or breakfast or something. So I always ask up front, and if like you told me what your ailments was, and we worked around them. So
Correct. Which we did. I definitely will attest to that. He would tell me what I should not do, making sure that I don't go home and decide that I'm going to do some things. Someone wants to know.
yes, I am taking on new clients. I will send you my schedule for Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday training.
Listen, guys, he is definitely good. He's very personable. I'm, doing a plug for him. He doesn't have to sell himself, but those who know him and have gotten the results that they want. The only reason I ain't got the results is because I'm not consistent. not because I know my own flaws. And that's, I think, what we have to know is we have to know our own flaws. And yes, sis, oh yes, he knows his stuff. Yeah, he knows his stuff. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I had working out with sis during Christmas time. She's a fighter, but
Okay.
she knows she needs to be consistent. She was a dancer, I think she did ballet, right, sis?
Okay. Well, requires some discipline right there. And
Yeah,
so,
she got it. She was in the process of getting married at the time, so
okay.
focus, focus, focus. So now she'll be all right.
Ballet and tap. She needs to give us some lessons. Not that I want, I mean, not ballet, maybe some tap and some jazz. Sounds good.
Yep.
Uh, so I think we're good on that. We're setting our goals. We're moving forward. Everybody knows. Listen, AJ will make sure we share his information so that you can actually set up a session with him during this process. Because if you don't have a trainer, and listen, I'm saying this, he does Duo. I think that's what he uses. So
Yeah.
you don't have to be in location to get your plan and have it worked out. So don't think you got to be here in the state of Virginia to get this plan going. I know that he does that as well, and it works very well.
COVID taught me that.
All right, there you go.
Right. So virtual works for me. Virtual is a good thing. Because if someone is sick, I don't need them in here on top of me. I don't need to be on top of them, and we can just distance and still get the workout in. So
right. Awesome. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about setting their goals? I just used me and we talked about it, but if you're trying to set a workout goal, a plan, this is an opportunity for you to ask questions based on what he has on the screen.
What's the next slide?
Hold it on. Oops, sorry.
To my conclusion, I'm not going to kill y'all with PowerPoint. I'll let y'all read it yourself, and then I guess we still have a few minutes left. We can ascertain any questions at that time.
All right. I'm going to remove the. All right, here's. All right. This is my kind of person. You said by June. There we go.
Okay, where we at? March.
Mm-hmm. So she's a little short of mine. So instead of 4 months, she only have 3 months.
Okay, we can do it. Not impossible.
Okay.
Not impossible. She has my contact information already too. So.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And so we'll put it, even though for those who may see this on a replay, we'll make sure that his information is up. And if not, I'll post it in the Transformation Center. Let's see.
Yes, I know who you are.
Okay.
Battle buddy.
Awesome. I will place this on my page, so his information, he'll get me flyer for contact, because for the next 2 months, for the rest of March and April, we'll be focusing on transforming the body. Our next session together is going to be on the 23rd, which will be an in-person session, and we're working on the location so that because we're in Virginia and we know Virginia has crazy weather. It's definitely be routine to be outside, but March is not necessarily the best weather in Virginia. So we're going to be working on that, but we'll let you know in enough time. On the 23rd is the date. So mark your calendar. It will start at 10 o'clock, wherever we decide that we're going to be, and let you guys know that. But listen, if you have questions about health, you have questions about getting fit, EJ is definitely my go-to person. Everybody's got to have a go-to person. for whatever it is you're doing. You know, I may be somebody's go-to tax person. I may be somebody go-to word person, whatever. But you got to have a go-to person, and EJ is mine when it comes to fitness. And I'm sure that anything that he tells you when it comes to nutrition and setting up your goals and planning and that meal plan, it is definitely for your benefit, and I'm not for his. Believe me, he is not in it for the money. He is in it to help the people. The money is just extra, but he's in it to make sure that you become healthy, that we live longer and be able to do the things that my goal is 15 grandbabies. That's my goal, is to see every one of them grow up and to be able to have fun with them. That 1-year-old that's running around, I can't run if these knees are bad. I can't play with him and sit on that sofa all day. And so you got to know what your goals are, and what your why is in order to do this, whatever lifestyle you're trying to get that 20 pounds. And a lot of times, like I said, I'm the numbers person, so I always want to look at the pound. I'm going to get my mindset together to change that and living healthy instead of losing weight. The goal is to live healthy. EJ, you have anything else that you want to share?
No, like I said, what I learned in my last seminar really changed a lot of my thinking. I'll still help those assist losing the weight, whatever your goal is. But my thing now is to just be healthy. Just be healthy. Quit trying to meet what society says. Make sure your numbers are right with your doctor. Make sure you go in there and demand from your doctor. Yes, he's making a lot of money, as we all know. So make sure he's doing what you want him to do. And like I said, I'm not so much focused on weight. I just want to be healthy.
Amen. So let me ask another question before we close out, because what about for that person who doesn't need to lose weight? So like my husband, he needs to build muscle. He's been sick. So he needs to do something to build the muscle. Do you work with those individuals as well that
Yes.
okay, they came to a place and their energy level is extremely low? Okay. All right. So listen, guys, that means he's an all-around person. It's not, he just said he's going to work on being healthy, but you don't always know who to go to when you're looking for certain things. And I wanted to definitely answer that, because there are some people who are really small, but that don't mean that they're healthy.
Right. But how's their endurance?
Okay. See.
How's their flexibility? How's their strength?
Correct. All right. That sounds really good. Anybody have any more questions before we close out today? Any comments? You may not have a question. Maybe you got a comment on something that was said. It looks like EJ got a new customer. Well, sounds like she's an old customer that's coming back.
She's a battle buddy. She's a battle buddy, a dear friend.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, awesome. We've been knowing each other for a while.
But we all need to get healthy, not just lose weight. We definitely need to be healthy. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm looking for longevity. And so in order to have longevity, I've got to do something different. Thank you. That is the goal. He will provide us more information that I will post in the Transformation Center. For those of you, however you connected on here, whether through somebody else's Facebook page or mine, but there's a Transformation Center where we're transforming ourselves for the entire year. So we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to be transformed in whatever need that you have set. And this is just for these next 2 months. We are going to transform our bodies. And I believe if we do this consistently for 2 months, that this will help us to get into that lifestyle. It won't just be for 2 months because we just did, somebody was talking about it. And so that's my goal, is that when we make a change, we make it a permanent change in our transformation.
Pastor, if I send you this flyer right quick, I don't know if you can post it right quick.
Okay, if you send it to you, send it to
your
me.
email, because I'm doing something.
Yeah, email it to me.
I'm doing something for another church, for my church next Saturday. And if anybody needs me to come to their church, because it seems like that's the thing now for all the black churches is to this healthy mandate. This,
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Definitely.
I've been talking about that for the longest, but now I guess someone must put a mandate out there. It's happening now. So
It's a necessary, it is a necessity. I want to say this in all honesty for us as people of African American descent. Let me say that. In the church, we celebrate with food.
yes,
And it's not always healthy food, and because of that our lifestyles and our home lifestyles have taken have I want to say duplicated that same style of celebrating around food. And because we don't celebrate it with healthy food, um, we have our holidays where we have more food than the law should allow, and we eat more than we should, and then we regret it on the other side of that. And that has been a culture thing. um, Food is comforting, and so I think that that's what part of the challenge has been, because food is comforting, that we gravitate towards the food. It's a comfort, it's
and
reassuring,
and how
it's
many times we find ourselves sleep somewhere at a family function?
because the food is so rich, and doesn't mean that it's just really, I believe we have not learned moderation, and
Right,
moderation is
and portion
critical.
control.
Yeah, the portion control, the moderation in what we do. So, I've learned. One thing I had to learn, and I will share this, is that if I fall off the wagon, or if I eat something that I shouldn't eat. Uh-oh, did I do that? I did. If I eat something I shouldn't eat, then I do something different. And so that's critical for us to understand that we've got to do something different. Don't beat yourself up. And I think that's the best thing I can take out of having that gastric bypass is that all right, so it just came over. Let's
Yeah,
see.
don't be so hard on yourself. You're human. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fall off the wagon. So don't and you can't get back that time. You can't get back.
That's a hard. I think that's a hard part. EJ is saying that to not be hard on ourselves, but to make sure that we are able to achieve something in the process. So let me see if I can add that document. Give me a second, guys. I know that some of you are ready to, but I want him to make sure we add all the information that he has for us. So give me 1 second and I will add that. If you guys have a question, let's see. All right, somebody stated something. Okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yes,
that
yes,
is definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. How can we do the Lord's work and evangelize in the hospital?
right.
Yeah, yeah,
And we got to realize our health is our wealth.
yeah,
So
yeah. That is key, because we don't do that as much as we should. All right, give me 1 second. Oh, wait a minute. I could just open it up and share the screen. That's what I should have did. Apologize. Trying to get this. Sorry, guys. Listen, guys, I apologize because I have an administrator that is not here. I have to tell her that let me see what I want to that I told her today that I needed her in place. That way this wouldn't be happening. All right, let me see if I can find. I don't see. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. All right. We're going to share that flyer. Let me take this off so that everybody can see. It's going to be at the Friendship Baptist Church located in Hopewell on 1205. My vision is a little bit. That's 1305. 1305 Arlington Road in Hopewell, Virginia. So the time is That is next weekend from 10
Mhm.
to 2, next Saturday.
10 to 12.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I better put some more glasses on. From 10 to 12. Y'all forgive me. 10 to 12. Health and Wellness Day. This is good. So this is a good opportunity. Definitely make sure that you share this information, and I will post this on the site so we'll have it. Um, Again, if you have something that you want, EJ, he is definitely willing to go and help and talk to someone at your church to make sure that we're all living healthy. And we're gonna talk about some meal planning, meal
Oh
prep,
yeah.
where he'll show that, where we have an opportunity that we'll just cook up the food. We gotta figure that piece out on how we're gonna do that. But we're gonna make sure that we have it, so if it's on site and we decide that we're going to have someone come in, we're working on that piece and cook the meals, then that's a long term. We'll have a kitchen. Maybe somebody will volunteer their kitchen to us, and we can cook up and talk about the prep. Because guess what? It's not just the and I know this. It's not just portion size, but it's how you prepare the food. Because we like a lot of fried stuff.
Seasoning. We like
We like
seasonings. That's
well,
sodium.
I like season. Well, I don't like salt, but I do like seasoning. But I season without salt because I had a brother that was a chef, and he did not use salt at all.
Mhm.
So I've learned how to cook without salt, but that's important because we don't realize how much sodium is in the food that we already purchased to cook. So I can't wait for that one as well because I want to. And for those folks who like to eat vegetables, EJ, I mean, whatever his meal, I like vegetables. I'll show you how to cook some vegetables without salt. We may just have some fun. We may have a fun day, EJ. We got to figure that out. He'll do
Yes,
the
ma'am.
portion, and I'll help with the cooking. I do know
Yes,
how to
ma'am.
cook for those who don't think I do. There's a lot of
Yeah.
folks that think my husband did all the cooking for years, so but I do cook. So and I do healthy cooking because that's how I eat when I
Okay.
don't eat junk. All right. All right,
All right.
guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you. Make sure, listen, you can share the video. It still will be up, so you can share it and let someone know about EJ. And I'll post it again on my multiple pages where you can reach him as well as this, and he'll give me information for his sessions as well. Have a good week. Have a rest of yes. Thank you, dear. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you again, EJ. I
All
thank you
right.
for all your time. Thank each and every one of you. You guys have a wonderful Saturday.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye.